Advanced mode gives you full creative control over how your images are prepared for laser engraving. We're going to build our own workflow from scratch, together, step by step, and everything I'm showing you right now can be tested completely free, no sign-up required. You can open advanced mode either by clicking Prepare Your First Image Free at the top or from the Overview section just below it. For this tutorial, I'm going to use this portrait. Once you're in, you'll notice that advanced mode gives you over 100 different filters and tools to work with. I usually start with AutoRefine. That's a smart way to improve shadows and contrast in your image without introducing noise or other ugly artifacts. You'll see a clip limit slider that controls the maximum amount of enhancement, and the tile sliders let you decide how strongly the effect is applied across the image. Just move them around until the image looks more balanced to you. Once I'm happy with that, I head over to Color Filters and pick Monochrome. Now, this is similar to a basic grayscale conversion, but it gives you a lot more control. For example, you can preserve the bright tones in your image while specifically adjusting the midtones. In my case, the default monochrome setting already looks perfect, so I'll move on to the next step. That's Gamma. Gamma primarily affects the midtones of your image, the range between the darkest and brightest areas, without shifting the black point or white point. It's a subtle adjustment, but it really helps the image feel more natural. I also like to use highlights and shadows. This lets you fine-tune the bright areas and the dark areas separately, giving you a lot of precision. Now, if you want certain details in your image to stand out more, try the Highpass Filter. Switch the drop-down to Sharpen, and you'll see edges and textures become crisper. But be careful with this one. Push it too far, and you'll create unnecessary noise in the image. A little goes a long way. Next, let's set the physical dimensions. Choose Resize under the Geometry section in the Image drop-down. Enter the size you want for your engraving and set your DPI. Then head over to the Filters tab and choose your dither method under Threshold and Dither. Now, the preview might look pixelated on your screen. Don't worry about that. Your monitor simply can't display that many dots per inch at once. Zoom in, and you'll see every single dot is placed perfectly and razor sharp. Here's one of the biggest advantages of advanced mode. You can edit and save your entire workflow. Click on the Workflow section and choose Show Current Workflow. You'll see all your steps laid out in order. From here, you can drag and drop to rearrange them, disable individual steps, or click into any step to make further adjustments. Once you're happy with everything, just hit Update Workflow to apply your changes. And of course, you can save this workflow for later. Click Save, and the app downloads your workflow as a small JSON file straight to your Downloads folder. Let's test it on a new image. Upload a different photo, head back to the Workflow section, and click Load Workflow. Select your JSON file, and the editor automatically applies every step to the new image. Just like that. When you're done, go to File, then Export, and save your processed image. Now open your laser software and import it. For my 80-watt CO2 laser, I'm using 120 millimeters per second for speed, 14% maximum power, and 1% minimum power. Since we already processed the image, it's really important to turn on pass-through mode. That tells the laser software to leave the image exactly as it is and not apply any additional processing. And that's it. We can start the engraving. I'm engraving this on birch plywood. And right from the start, you can already see those beautiful warm brown tones coming through. We've got clean details, no overburned areas, and no unwanted artifacts. Exactly what we were going for. I use a soft brush to remove any residue and dust from the engraving, and what I'm left with is a perfectly engraved portrait on birch plywood. The best part? I can now reuse this exact workflow for every photo I want to engrave on wood, which saves a huge amount of time. So what are you waiting for? Head over to imag-r.com and build your own workflow today.